So Bloomberg has posted this article today written by Takashi Makazuki. Forgive me if I'm pronouncing that incorrectly. Sony hits pause on the PlayStation VR2 production as unsold inventory piles up. $550 accessory has suffered from lack of compelling content. Sony testing PC compatibility to expand gadget's appeal. The article goes on to state, Sony Group Corporation has paused production of its PlayStation VR2 headset until it clears a backlog of unsold units. According to people familiar with its plans, adding to doubts about the appeal of virtual reality gadgets. Sales of the $550 wearable accessory to the PlayStation 5 have slowed progressively since its launch, and stocks of the device are building up, according to the people, who asked not to be named as the information is not public. Sony has produced well over 2 million units of the product launched in February of last year, the people said. Sony's headset shipments have been on decline since PlayStation VR2 launch. And here you can see in the article they're showing a comparison between the PlayStation VR2 and MetaQuest. The article continues with, PlayStation VR2 shipments have declined every quarter since its debut, according to IDC, which tracks deliveries to retailers rather than consumers. The surplus of assembled devices is throughout Sony's supply chain, the people said. Still, IDC's Francisco Geronimo sees a recovery for the product category in coming years with the help of Apple Incorporated's entry. We forecast the VR market to grow on average 31.5% per year between 2023 and 2028, he said. Alongside Meta Platforms Incorporated, Sony has been one of the leading purveyors of virtual reality gear, but both have struggled to attract enough content and entertainment creators to make their platforms compelling. A similar problem stalks Apple's much pricier Vision Pro headset, as it made its debut without tailored apps from key entertainment platforms Netflix and Alphabet Incorporated's YouTube. Sony did not respond to requests for comment. Tokyo-based Sony last month announced it's shutting down its PlayStation London division, which was focused on making virtual reality games. That move was part of a wider set of layoffs that also affected in-house studios like Guerrilla Games, which had worked on creating a PlayStation VR2 exclusive game in its popular Horizon series, Horizon Call of the Mountain. The high price of VR hardware acts as the main hurdle for its expansion, said Macquarie analyst Yajia Zai. Again, forgive me if I pronounce that incorrectly. Currently, there are limited games that support VR devices, and that will also lead to lack of motivation for players to purchase VR hardware. This limited content also has a reason. The development cost for VR games is substantially higher than normal titles. Sony is still working on expanding the range of material available on the headset, and it said in February that it's testing the ability for PlayStation VR2 members to access PC titles. This comes shortly after IGN's article where they stated a year since its release, Sony seems to have abandoned PlayStation VR2. I see a lot of people in the comments saying this is just a hit piece, that Meta wants Sony to just fail, and they're, paying these people to say all this stuff. I also see the other side, saying, well, I always knew it was going to fail, it's too pricey, there's not enough games, which on both sides I can kind of understand the argument. But I would like to see Sony be more transparent with us. I'd like to see more announcements of PSVR1 ports coming in the near future. I actually just made a video of the top 15 PSVR1 games I'd like to see get ported over to the PlayStation VR2, which I'll leave a link for in the description box. I'd also like to see them announce more AAA titles, but that could be very well due to the lack of sales. I'm very interested to see what everyone thinks about this article. So now I'm going to kick it over to you guys. What do you think? Do you think this is the end for PlayStation VR2? Or do you think this is just another uninformed, unreliable hit piece, like people are saying? If you enjoyed the content, please like the video, subscribe and hit the bell icon to stay notified for more of my VR playthroughs, reviews, and news. Any support you show would really mean a lot and help my small channel grow. Also, comment if you'd like to see me play any game in particular. Thanks for hanging out, Ready Players, and I'll catch you in the next one.